Hey guys, what's going on? Emo Tempest here. I'm back with the second part to this Warp Golbez feature match. So this one, if you didn't see it in the title, you didn't figure it out. This one's against the real aggro king, the current meta king, is FF13. Now, I'll do my best to give insight. These games are going fast. I do have two games for you, just so we can kind of see a little two different outcomes here. So. As always, if you enjoy this content, please make sure to like the videos. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more, and leave it in the comments if you want me to do more stuff like this. After Warp Golbez, it looks like Turks won the vote, so we'll probably be working on a Turks deck. So if you guys want to be a part of that, make sure to keep an eye out for the polls, and leave your comments and votes there. But yeah, so unfortunately, we do not God Hand here, right? So we kind of open a neutral game. I think I didn't even see the Golbez this time. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But we didn't mulligan because we had backups, and thankfully he didn't start completely busted either. We didn't go Vanille Hope. I'm not sure which. I'm not sure on the version of this list here that he's running, but it might be his own brew. But yeah, this matchup is actually extremely rough for us, unless we're dropping Golbez turn 1. And I don't actually think, well, we obviously didn't get to do it this game, but again, this is just a showcase to kind of show you what the deck can do, or what options the deck has, and it's very hard to, it's very, very, very tough for us. And if you haven't already, please make sure to check out the other video where Golbez goes up against Mono Water. So he opens up the Hope Fang. I assume he's got Lightning in his hand next turn. He wants to pay for it with 1 in case he doesn't get anything. But yeah, see, our hand's a little wild here. I was kind of hoping to get into the Golbez, since we have the Lightning and everything else, but I kept the one of Molly here to kind of play the Rydia as well, so we're kind of floating. It doesn't really, again, I'm not super threatened at the moment. I think I'm like, we can probably, we'll take 4 damage, we'll see what we hit, and then hopefully go into it. So we decided to go for the Selkie, find the Rubicantes or the Cagnazos. Takes a little while, but again, that's the point of the card, right? We want to make sure we have them. I think we passed 1 or 2 Golbez there. We passed a Golbez there, so I wouldn't have seen him actually for a while at all, which is kind of unfortunate for this hand. So, you know, something like that helps a lot. Yep, and I'm gonna have to eat it this turn, unfortunately. Like I said, sometimes you really open bad hands. I think I kept it for the Gramis and the other thing, just in case we could warp to it or turn 2 warp. But if you know you're playing against 13, you have to mulligan for it. There's the second Golbez we've seen, so this one feels actually really brutal already. And he manages to hit 2 Archfiends as well, which sucks because I would have been able to draw and play them, and that could have helped us out. Like, we could have played the Cagnazo, played the Rubicante, and then played the Rydia in our hand. Kind of left enough forwards. And yeah, as you can see here, now we're in a real tough spot. I can't actually play anything. I'm unable to play the 2 guys. Rydia doesn't do much for us here. Barb can only do a max of 2k damage. We could have played the Cloud. I think we could have gone Rydia, pitch. Yeah. I didn't feel like this one was going anywhere. He had the cards and he had plenty of answers there. It's rough, right? Like, we don't really need it to do anything. Again, looking at it and in hindsight, we could have played Rydia, pitch, tap 2 to play the Cloud, kill 1, and then kind of float there for a little bit. But realistically, you know, if I don't see, that's 2 Golbez is gone, and I don't really see an answer there. So it wouldn't be long, maybe 2 turns, that I just sit there, wait, and draw decent cards. But I wasn't gonna see a Golbez. I know we had the Sid Paladino to search, but that's 2 turns to search and to play. If he doesn't, like, I mean, it would have been next turn, right? So that turn would have been to clear. This turn, and then next turn would have been to search and play, and then the turn after is when we start developing. So it's 2 turns that we don't actually have. So here we go ahead and decide to search Bygone, play the Bygone right away. And we're like, alright, this is a little bit better. We're going to go ahead and Warp Golbez turn 1. And the cool thing about Bygone is that once Golbez comes out, if we're able to... I think this is the hard part, right? I wanted to keep the Gramis... Oh, I actually don't do that turn 1. Do it turn 2. Yeah. It's not the worst play. Going first is okay in this scenario, I think. Now we have our very standard opening. I believe Hope Neil. Oh, I think to justify the waiting another turn, and you might have to find yourself into this, is actually to get into an archery, right? You don't want to, you always want to, if you open Golbez, you want to hope, you need to have at least 1 archery in that, right? So there's at least, buys you 5 cards that you're able to get into the next one, right? And what I mean by that is like, I just warped here, right? Next turn we'll draw 2, play Ruby Conte, draw 3, and then the following turn we'll draw 2 more, right? Those are the 5 cards that you're gonna... that will hopefully net you another one. And yeah, thankfully we didn't hit any Archfiends there. Once again, we only hit the Ruby Conte. We're gonna draw, and there we go. We hit into another one. Now, unfortunately, we're already facing lethal here. What do I do? Unfortunately, there's not much we can do. I can't play the Vayne. There's already a Golbez out. We end up deciding to play the Golbez. So Ruby Conte can stay at 8, and I have Bygone active. So again, part of the plan, it doesn't matter if Golbez is warping, you have enough turns to kind of, especially with Vayne not on the board, you have enough turns to kind of wait this one out, and then later you could always chocobo it if you're in a better position. But you know how these 13 games goes, guys. You're almost never in control if you're staring 4 damage already.
Damage 3, he's 8. What do you think?
Alright, so he's gonna try to RFG here. The Golbez.
He can break as long as Golbez. When he dies, you shoot his power too.
just going over some of the the possible outcomes here with him, so he knows what he's doing, and that's important. As a player, you guys should always see what your opponent's cards do before you make plays. So in case you don't catch it, you see, because right here he's just like he was about to Bahamut the Golbez. I would have killed the lightning, and then he would have just it wouldn't have been the worst thing. But now he's reconsidering the play, right? So.
We literally had bad music.
So now we just have to see more targets to break. I think he has to correct himself again. Yep. That's a pitch that. We'll kill the lightning in response, lose him.
You were the chosen one. I trusted you.
And if you hadn't already, you see the XIII in his hand. I believe that's how he closes his game out. Oh no, he doesn't actually have it. He doesn't have the lightning to pay for it. But yeah, it's pretty bleak, guys. There's the 13 matchup has a lot of removal. There's a lot of they're faster than you. They really are just faster than you. And if that's enough of a deterrent to get you off this deck, then it is what it is. But I still think for the most part the deck does work very well into other matchups. And then draw here. Yep, and then I draw the wrong Scar. I get my frustration when I would rather have seen the other Scarmillion first. I would have called Lightning, and we could have cleared 2 here. But again, these are bad beats. So you saw the other matchup shows an optimal hand. This hand shows 2 suboptimal hands into a very poor matchup, in my opinion. So I hope this gives you guys an idea of what the deck can do and how it functions and where it takes. Where to pick your battles and what you're looking out for. As always, make sure to stay on the lookout for the deck profile. Should be coming out shortly. Just have to finish the list. We've had a lot of games. These aren't the only ones, but realistically, I'm going to move on so we can give you guys more content. Like I said, Turks. Someone asked for Water Ice using Realm. We have FF10. I might throw up another poll with Bull. With Warrior of Lights and some other decks on there. But yeah. But that's it, guys. This one doesn't really... The Seymour attacks and the lightning attacks and damage, and that's game. Yep. Alright, guys. Catch you on the next one.